Alright, hey guys, Bezmor, and I've got an awesome vid for you today. This is probably going to end up being a two-part video, but I was 1v1ing Tight End from Gold Diggers. In my opinion, he's like the other Psy on our server. That's a pretty big PKer. But yeah, I wanted to 1v1 him because, it's actually, it's a real challenge to fight your own class because both players know exactly the strategies and the right comps. I mean, if they're good, they know what's going on and whatnot. And I was trying a new method against him because we pretty much have the same genie build for normal PKing and stuff, and that's like the AD Expel, Holy Path, Cloud Erupt, all that good stuff on the genie. And the last time we fought, it was a huge, really long 1v1, and it's just one of those ones that it takes forever to end. And we were both using the same genie build, and then this time I decided to try and pull the Belief Genie tactic. And the Belief Genie is hacks because, you can pretty much purify anything a psychic can do to you with that. It turns out there's one glitch. You can block an incoming soul burn with Belief, but you cannot purify soul burn with Belief, which I think it might work in duels that you can purify it, but just be aware of that. It got me killed the other day because I know it could stop soul burns from like hitting you, like if they're casting it and you Belief, it'll block it. But anyways, as you can see there, I just popped Belief when he was going for the kill combo, and then I got him down low enough when he was in black that he couldn't recover. And so that's how I just straight up abused the Belief Genie, which was pretty fast. But then once he didn't know what it was, and then the second fight, which you're going to see in a second here, once he knew what it was capable of, obviously he had to adapt for that. And then this is a fairly long fight. Now, one thing, as using the Belief Genie, it was really difficult because, first of all, I can't chi build this fast. I don't have Cloud Erupt, and even when I'm fighting him, and using Cloud Erupt is really dangerous. The cool thing about Belief, it's got its ups and downs. The first is that it screws your affinities over, so you cannot have the right skills you want, even if you are level 5. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do a genie video because I've had like 3 different people ask me for it, so eventually I promise I will do a genie video. But anyways, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But bottom line, I can't have AD. But what's nice about Belief is it's only a 1-minute cooldown. What's bad is it takes like pretty much all your genie vite. So if you're gonna use it, you can't chain it into something else on your genie as quickly, which means if you want to use Will Surge, you can't. And if you're going to use a Belief Genie, it has to have high vite. It requires 160 just to use the skill. And then another thing is that it has to have either recharge so that you can use it when you're there, or you have to have either like a 200 vite Genie or something. It takes a lot. Or you have to have one that's like, I think if you build Strength, you can reduce the energy cost, but not very much. So it's kind of a really hard skill to use on the Genie because it's extremely situational. But anyways, you'll notice that I spend a lot of the time sitting in Black Voodoo in this fight. I was building chi off the mobs because hitting him, my Fortify was in my Fortify was in cooldown, so I couldn't clear his stunning. And you'll notice that's another huge thing in Psy versus Psy. Whoever has the Soul of Stunning proc, your opponent is going to be stunned for like 10 plus seconds end game. His is actually 11, mine's only 10, which stinks. But anyways, so, what was I saying? There's so many things I want to say because it's a Psy versus Psy fight. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that comes into play, but the biggest thing is obviously using your Genie. You'll notice, like, we are both abusing Fortify pretty much every 30 seconds to wipe the opponent's stunning. And then here I just went for a straight up tank, and I was going to try and catch him in black. Or no, I was doing something stupid anyways. I should have stunned him there, but my stun was in cooldown, which is why I went back to White Voodoo anyways. So the Psy versus Psy, here is a rule you need to learn. If both parties know what they're doing, neither party will die if they are in White Voodoo. Like, straight up, the only reason you will die in White Voodoo as a Psychic is if you were in Black Voodoo and got DD'd down to 1 shot and then switched to White and got killed. Like, you will not die in Psy versus Psy in White Voodoo. It just doesn't happen. Like, I'm being really offensive in this fight because I have the Belief Genie, so I know if I get screwed over, I can purify and then immediately switch to white and maybe throw down Apoth or something. So you'll notice I'm playing way offensive in this fight, sitting in black, literally just trying to abuse stuff, and I think this is where I got mega screwed over. This might be the end of this fight. I lost this one. Yeah, I think this is the funny part. Where is it? Yeah, see, his vector didn't proc, and then my vector didn't proc, and so we were both raging because his vector procking would have guaranteed the win, and my vector procking would have guaranteed me not dying. So it was kind of a bad luck for both of us, but he managed to pull it off there, and you see that was him black voodoo on my black voodoo something. Like, bottom line, like, oh, and this guy, he's trying to troll me and saying I want to upload this to YouTube. Yeah, screw you. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, like, you can't kill a good psychic when they're in white. The second they go to black, it's like game on. You better be ready to do something about it. And that's what I like about the Belief Genie is when they go to black, you know, if they're smart, they're only going to go to black if they're going for the kill. Like, if they've got you set up right. And it's all about setup in most 1v1s. And so the Belief Genie says, oh, he went black, pop Belief, and then immediately go for a kill combo. And if you have the right Apoth, you know, you can Belief into Apoth, and that'll keep you, you don't have to worry about their stun, you don't have to worry about their seal, and then if you throw down an Iron Guard, right at the end of your Belief, that'll give you 17 seconds of immunity to anything the Psychic can do to you, unless they kill you in the first 5 seconds of using Belief, and the chance of that happening is really low. So that's one Psy versus Psy strategy that's very good, and that's actually why I was trying this Genie. But this Genie, it's not my primary Genie. It has bad lucky points. As you can see, I only have 167 vitality, and it's magic, not very much. I put 3 level 4 Genie pieces on it, and only one of them was Vite and 2 of them were magic. So if you're going to abuse the Belief Genie strategy, what you need to do is have a very high, for a Belief Genie, because it requires so much Vite, and at the same time you need recharge speed. This is for Psychics, just as a side note. I really got to do that Genie video, but because you need that, you really do need a high lucky point Genie to get all the magic and Vite. Because obviously you have to have the high Vite, but without the magic recharge, it's going to be like if you pop your Belief, then you're screwed, because, you know, it'll take you a really long time to recharge. And I mean, there are Dex Genies, and well, there's Dex build and Strength build Genies. I noticed a lot of Archaeans using Dex. I gotta stop talking about Genies. I'm gonna talk about it in another vid, guys. I promise. Don't hate. But bottom line, this is not a good Genie. This is what I happen to make when trying to make a good Genie. So what did I just do there? Yeah, I popped Belief right there, and he's in black, so it's black on black and silenced. Woohoo. That's the problem about Belief. If you don't have somewhere to chain through to keep you from getting silenced, you're going on luck. And you see the set, you know, the fight basically reset right there. So anyways, I wasn't using my Apoth because I didn't want to waste it, because I knew it was really risky if I don't have Apoth. Now you see, he's black, I'm white, so him trying to kill me is pretty much futile. And the worst part was he will surged after he got silenced, and then got screwed over because he couldn't fortify when he will surged. And well, he actually could. I think his Genie is actually really good. It's an 81. I think it's an 81 lucky point. So between the high Vite and magic that he has, he can get both Will Surge and Fortify really close together, but then he's completely out of Genie skills if he does that. So anyways, the idea is you wanna play it so that you don't have to use your Genie to block both things, if you can get one out of the way, which is why Beliefing into Apoth is a really good strategy. Or Will Surging when you know their Soul of Stunning's in cooldown, then they have to try and Vector proc you, but if you're attacking them, ideally they're stunned. Bunch of stuff. So this is the third fight, and I mean, I got a little bit less offensive when I died, and I spent a lot more time in white. But end of the line, I mean, I lost this one too, and it came down to he got a double crit in black, and so the first crit took my charm, the second brought me down to like danger zone, and then he finished me off with 1 or 2 hits, and I was trying to get back to white, and something like that. But anyway, Psy versus Psy fights, it's really, unless either side is going to commit to an attack, neither side is going to win, because in White Voodoo versus White Voodoo, like, this fight will go on till somebody's charm dies, and then if we put on a new charm, it just keeps going. I mean, there's no end to it. So I mean, the strategy you have to do is get good setup, and you have to use your genie extremely well in Psy versus Psy. If you're a Dex Genie build, you have to rely on your Badge of Courage to proc out of a Soul of Stunning, and then still have your Fortify ready, though, because if they have Stunning up, you're still screwed if you Badge proc. That's one thing I don't like about Badge Genies, is they will Badge the Soul of Stunning, and then... No, sorry. They will Fortify your Soul of Stunning, and then, you know, you can vector them and they have to badge, and then their genie's gone and the fight resets. But one bad thing is when they badge the Soul of Stunning, then they're screwed because you can still vector. Yeah, that's what it was. So they're, you know, it's a very complicated thing. You have to know your genie really well to PvP, bottom line. So yeah, that's it. And here, see, there's the 8k crit, and I was trying to get to White Voodoo, but he managed... It looks like I got back in, but he got the crit there, and then he had enough to finish it because of that. So that's the end of the fight, and I wanted to show you his gear. He actually upgraded his gear really recently, but he's got plus 11, plus 11, plus 11, plus 12, plus... I think he's got 4 parts plus 11 to my 2. He's got significantly more Soul Force than me by about 3k, I think it is. And as you can see, his ring engraves are good. So yeah, that's a 1v1. There will be another fight after this, so I hope I'll see you then.